Well, you can't really see it on the radar, but just got a coastal shower just after sunset watching the bats, and I smelt rain, didn't see it or hear it until a few moments later. It's really cool, but pretty unexpected because it's looking pretty dry. Heat wave conditions in Australia. We've got all these fires putting all the smoke in the Tasman, really bad conditions down there, a cold front behind it. Some decent flying conditions in New Zealand with all the cloud parting like, Noah crossing the ocean. Was that him? I don't know. And all these storms in the tropics, as they go up, there's all this latent heat release that gets brought down into the atmosphere and eventually comes into the mid-latitudes where the heat is there but the moisture's not, and you get all this dry, hot air descending over Australia. And a really cool line of storms here, sort of associated with this front. And yeah, the guys flying New Zealand, not anything too amazing, but at least they're flying, so I guess that's a good start. And some pretty bad cumulonimbus, pyrocumulonimbus, so you can see all the disgusting smoke coming, and really like they're triggering these storms. So there's not really any storms around there that aren't associated with fires. And if we look at the cloud tops, they're getting right up to the tropopause at around minus 50 degrees. So there you go. What's next? Yeah, so it's going to be looking a bit like that under some of those pyrocumulonimbus. And currently this 3-day sliding heat wave thing, so it has the worst conditions pretty close to where those fires are, and moving up slightly further north in New South Wales as that front moves through. And tomorrow, which is New Year's Eve, some extreme fire dangers, not catastrophic but not ideal. And Sydney's severe, and they'll have the cold front coming through in the afternoon. I'm not sure exactly what time, but their New Year's Eve fireworks are going to be pretty smoky, so that'll be broadcast out to the world. And looking at windy, here we have basically a chart, so pretty standard high in the Tasman, directing, well, that would have brought us some coastal moisture of that shower we just had, but as it comes down over the Australian desert, really dries out. And let's have a look at what the air mass is like by the time it gets to where those fires are. Really dry, really high cloud base, and yeah, relatively unstable, so that explains why you can get pyrocumulonimbus. In Brisbane, this is this morning by the way, it's not now, it's winding back a bit, but it hasn't changed a lot. But you can see there's this inversion here, and we'll show you that in a moment, but nice and warm coming off the Tasman with the easterlies, and heating up with that inversion, and then dry air above. Next. So yeah, as I said, we've got the easterlies coming off the Tasman, nice and warm underneath, so good flying conditions in here with a good unstable lapse rate and some clouds there, but not too much shading. Really dry above. So what happens after the storms drop all their water and they've still got the latent heat, you get the air sinking over a long period of time, over several days, as it drifts into the subtropical dry arid zone. And as it sinks, it warms, and warm air can hold a lot more water, but it isn't. So the drop off between this air that's been going over the Tasman and the air that's descended from, a long way away, it's a really big drop off into dry air, and it's also a really sudden warm up. So a pretty strong inversion. You won't be getting above 5,000 feet. The guys have been flying around 50 k's in the last few days with these kind of soundings, and hopefully to fly a little bit further tomorrow, but we'll see how I go. But yeah, around 10 degrees at cloud base, and that's it.